My name is Chris Armstrong. I'm the author of the book Medieval Wisdom for Modern Christians, Finding Authentic Faith in a Forgotten Age with C.S. Lewis. I'm also the founding director of Opus, the Art of Work, an institute on faith and vocation at Wheaton College in Illinois, and the senior editor of Christian History magazine. I think I started writing this book when I realized something about the evangelical culture into which I entered in my early 20s when I became a Christian. I loved the gospel message, the message of sin and salvation, the way that it brought me into presence of God and relationship with God. But when I've gone to the movement for help understanding the world and life in the world, the wondrous, the cultural, the material world with cities and movies and novels and science and politics, I've often found that there's just no there. Like James Davison Hunter or Mark Knowles observed, evangelicals are often not present in those cultural conversations, in those places in our society and our culture where those things are being discussed and understood. So I started to ask myself, where in the history of the church have Christians been concerned with these larger cultural questions? And I think a lot of people are asking that, and it's really fairly obvious, but I think we have a big blind spot, so we don't always come to this answer. And that is, during the 1,000 years between 500 and 1500 AD, the period of the Middle Ages, the church, deeply committed to scriptural understanding, wielding classical knowledge, and really having a deeply practical bent, did go to its resources to answer these kinds of questions about, again, marriage and family, culture, drama, literature, science, politics. Every area of life was being addressed from a Christian theological perspective during the Middle Ages. Now, it wasn't a perfect time. There were certainly bunny trails and dead ends and errors, and we're familiar enough with those, but I think we bypass that kind of well of cultural wisdom that's available to us in that 1,000-year period. I've also read a lot of medieval authors that have nourished me in my own faith and understanding. And having read C.S. Lewis, I came to see him as really the most medieval of modern authors, who brings insight to that period, even as he also has insight into modern problems and issues. And because he's also someone who modern evangelical Protestants in particular trust and listen to, I thought it was a no-brainer to approach this medieval period through Lewis, to have him as kind of a kindly docent who brings us along. And I hope that by doing that, I can open up a conversation among modern Christians, especially modern evangelical Protestants.